Welcome to a new episode of Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid Ahmed.
In this episode, I want to get a lot of things off my chest. It's been pretty crazy past few days. I did so one of the things I accepted last week was the 30 days video challenge. 30 days of videos on LinkedIn, and my focus is on creating content all about how to use your smartphone for video production. And there was an episode couple months ago on the podcast about some of the tips and tricks that I talked about at the LinkedIn Local Nova event. So I wanted to talk about some of the fundamental things behind something like this. So what do I mean by this? What do I mean by that? Um, Creating content or talking about tips and solutions is I find a lot of joy in it. I find that I'm helping and I love helping people and to help figure out how to use devices that they already carry in their hands, how to use it better. Well, there's what's more joy in that. Everybody's got one. So the more I think about it, the more I want to perfect it, and I'm might be going the wrong way. I recorded several videos that I'm myself are discounting them for not being up to par to my own arbitrary standards. And I just want to focus on like the preparation that that needs to go in to create this content. That preparation is almost like post-production, right? The execution is easy, but to find the time to strategize, to figure out, okay, which topic goes first, which topic goes second, all of these things they come to you later on as you start digging. So I'm looking to dig deep in myself and understand what it is and how it is I want to convey this message. So far, I've got 4 videos up on LinkedIn, 3 videos recorded on my phone that need to go up on LinkedIn. I am 3 days behind, and some of the reasons of why I am behind is because, family responsibilities, not finding enough time, going to work, right? So those are responsibilities, those are commitments I have made uh, with other people, with other constituents. So you want to make sure that you are absolutely following through your commitments that you've made with others, and you come back and you say, okay, this is great, and it's really something that I want to continue to do. But if I'm not meeting my previous commitments, then I'm not doing any anybody any favors, because then I'm falling short on everything. The challenge is great. I will still be posting 30 videos, maybe more. Who knows? There are a lot of things. And as I watch the other challengers on the podcast, other challengers on the LinkedIn group chat, I see how much work they're putting in. Some people are repurposing content they had previously created and they're posting it and sharing it with the world through the LinkedIn platform. Others are creating special content just for this purpose, which is just amazing because they have the uh, time and they have the space to create this content. My content, in one way, is very specific, very focused on that one device, and those tips are have been found quite valuable by the people that are watching these videos. I just need to continue doing it, and I just needed to get that off my chest because I am not doing it as much as possible, and I'm just going and getting lost all over the place, and which is my bad myself. I had planned to record 10 videos in a single session of sitting and then edit these videos together or edit these videos individually, have the content around it um, written out, and then be able to post them. But life happens, right? And you have to tend to those commitments and those things that you've previously promised others. So that's where I am at currently. I wish there was less traffic today and I was able to get out of the office earlier, get out of the home earlier to get to my job. But regardless, I think I will make it in time. At least it's not Thursday today, because Thursday evenings I have to come back earlier than others. The kids have swimming class and gotta take care of that. The weather has been gotten colder, so but the kids are loving the swimming sessions, so the show must go on. So that was a little update. I know there's a lot of updates. I don't know, there has to be another word for it. Breaking news. Not really. So that's what's been happening with my video stories and what I'm talking about. I've also scheduled some other interviews. I'm going to be on a podcast. This podcast is all about parenting. It's the podcast name is called the Potty Mouthed Parenting, something like that. I'll have to double check and add the link to the podcast in the show notes. That's what they're called, show notes. So I have been inviting people. One lane road ahead. So I have, as I mentioned earlier, I've got a Facebook page for Hacks and Hobbies, and I've been inviting all my Facebook friends to this Facebook page. And there's a lot of people that have accepted my invites, so I am truly happy for them for accepting the invite. I would love if they can share their experience and share their knowledge on each of the posts, and we can include that information in upcoming podcasts. But so far, it's been pretty exciting setting it all up. I've got the integration between the blog set up so anytime a new post is imported from Anchor, WordPress will then post a new post on Facebook. So I'm liking this integration. Next up would be the integration with Twitter from the blog post. I didn't have the time to go through the setup process on Twitter yet, but I'm sure that it will bring some traffic. Again, you really need to spend a lot of time engaging with others. And again, time is very limited. It is the most limited thing that we all have is time. We all get 24 hours and it all comes down to how do we use these 24 hours. I have been quite exhausted end of these days. It's been quite tiring. I am looking to create more time and I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, but I'm sure you have these, we all have these down days and where we think to ourselves, hey, maybe you could have done this one better. Maybe you couldn't. Maybe you just gotta accept that some days are going to be high days and some days are going to be low days. It is the way of life. It's the circle of life. It's the wavelength of life. Everything has an ups and everything has a down. And that's why it is life, because otherwise it'd be all flat. Anyways, I think that's a pretty good size episode. Please feel free to reach out to me by any means that you find appropriate. Facebook page, Twitter, or the website. I will be happy to talk with you, listen to what you have to say about my podcast, and go from there. I did reach a new milestone. I've passed 2,000 listens on the podcast. I think we're at 2.4 thousand listens. I'm not sure who these listeners are. I've got an average of 50 listens per episode, but that's only because some episodes have a lot more listens than others. And I wonder, should I go back and update those episodes so as they get more listens, they bring in more audience? I don't know. This is just a hobby, right? This is my Hacks and Hobbies podcast. I'm talking about hobbies, and this is a hobbies in itself. And I hope that you found the last episode helpful, especially if you're looking to create a new podcast yourself. So there's four ways to connect. There's connecting via the Anchor app to starting the Hacks and Hobbies, sending message, connecting through Facebook, connecting through Instagram, connecting through Twitter, and of course the website. So total of 5 ways to connect with Hacks and Hobbies. So reach out to us, reach out to me. I'm the only one talking. Um, I have some, I've been doing interviews, and those interviews will be coming soon. I've just got to find the time to edit these together and post them to the world. Thank you again for taking the time to listen to my podcast. Please give a like to the episode. You can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, any place that you listen to the podcast. Please subscribe to us. Send us a star rating so we know that you're listening and we know what you think about it. And I can definitely address those issues. Thanks again for listening. Have a happy, happy day.